my motto, nothing's ever holding back.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Lone Road iRacing podcast. I'm your host, Guy Robertson, and it's great to be back once again. Today we're diving into a huge moment in the sim racing calendar. That's right, it's the start of a new season build and a new season on iRacing. Bring it on! Every 12 weeks, we all hit that reset button. New tracks, fresh series, schedules, new opportunities to set goals, and for some of us, a chance to climb the ladder a little higher. Whether that's chasing iRating, safety rating, or simply building skills and consistency. But let's be honest, the start of a new season can also feel overwhelming. Do you stick with a series you know? Do you try something new? How much time do you need to practice? And most importantly, how do you organise yourself so that you're just not wasting races, dropping iRating, and getting frustrated? So, in this episode, I'm going to cover 3 big themes for you, the viewers and listeners. Number 1, how to approach a brand new season. Which series to run, how to structure your practice, and how to stay organised. Section 2, what to expect from week 1. The chaos of new drivers, newly promoted rookies, and demoted drivers racing with an axe to grind. And Section 3, why third-party apps are essential for progression and how iRacing's brand new UI is still missing the mark compared to the competition. So buckle up, settle in, and let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the most important decision of the new season. Which series are you actually going to run? Now, some iRacers treat the new season like a buffet. They see 20 different options on the table and they think, why not? I'll sign up for everything. And for the first week or two, it feels great. You're bouncing from GT3 at Spa, to NASCAR at Daytona, to Formula Ford at Road Atlanta, to dirt ovals on a Tuesday night, but very quickly that approach falls apart. You spread yourself too thin. You never really get comfortable with any one car and your iRating and safety ratings start to plummet. So here's the first piece of advice I'll give you. Pick 1 or 2 primary series and maybe pick a fun project that maybe you've not raced before. Think of your main series as your career path. This is where you want to improve, make steady progress, and build consistency. Maybe that's IMSA if you love multi-class racing. Maybe it's the FIA F4 if you're aiming for open wheel progression. Or maybe it's the NASCAR B or C series if you want to work up the oval ladder. Your secondary or fun series is just there to blow off steam. That could be the Global MX5 Cup that you've not raced for many years, or maybe the new Radical Challenge, something that doesn't carry the pressure of your main campaign, but still keeps iRacing fun. Now, how do you decide which series to commit to? Well, there are 3 big factors. The first one is time commitment. Some series are short and sweet. The Mazda races, for example, are 15 to 20 minutes, perfect if you only have half an hour to jump on the sim. Others like IMSA, VRS Endurance or NIS can take 45 to 90 minutes. If your schedule's tight, you might want to be realistic. Don't sign up for a series where you're constantly quitting halfway through because dinner's ready or you have another commitment that you have to go to. The second thought process is around safety rating and iRating growth. Some series are crash fests, Let's be real, Rookie MX5 at Okayama can be chaos. If your goal is to build safety rating and escape Rookie or D license, you want to choose calmer, more structured series. On the flip side, if you're ready to climb iRating, you might pick higher split series with the competition being a bit sharper. And the third consideration is car and track familiarity. Ask yourself, do you want to learn something new or do you want to refine what you already know? There's value in both, to be honest, but starting a season with a car you've never driven before at tracks you don't know is a recipe for disaster and frustration. Now here's your iRacers challenge for the week. Take a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and write down the one series that's going to be your main focus this season. Not 5, not 10, just the one. Then add one secondary series for fun and commit to it. Because I promise, if you focus, you'll see your results improve much faster than when you try to run everything. So we're going to be right back, and section 2 is going to be about practice and organisation, listeners and viewers. Don't go away. So you've picked your series, great, but here's where most iRacers fall down. They don't practice with purpose. What do I mean by that? Well, most of us log in, load up a track and start hot lapping. We push for our best lap time, maybe even grab a purple sector or two, and then call it a day. But when we get into a race, suddenly we're off pace, inconsistent and making mistakes. So why is that? Because hot lapping isn't the same as race preparation. Here's how I recommend structuring your weekly practice. Early in the week, focus on learning the track. Don't worry about the lap times. Drive slow if you have to. Now, this is the track for the upcoming week. This isn't the track for this week. You've got to be practicing a week ahead. Nail your braking zones. Learn your turning points. Figure out where the car feels sketchy, and there's areas on the track where we all come across it. Midweek, start working on race pace, not hot laps. I mean being consistent, repeatable laps. Can you hit the same braking marker every lap? Can you run 10 laps within a second of each other? That's how you build confidence and consistency. At the end of the week, you should have the track and the car pretty much nailed down. So you're now ready to move it and simulate race conditions. So load up the fuel, do a long run. Test how the tyres feel at the end of a stint. Practice pit entries. Practice overtakes. And put yourself in situations that you're going to face in an actual race and put yourself under pressure. This way, by the time you grid up the following week, you're not just fast, you're fully prepared. Now, on the organisational side, I can't stress this enough, schedule your practice. Don't just wing it. If you know when you're racing, i.e. on a Friday night, make sure you've done your prep earlier in the week. Set reminders, block out the time, and treat it like an appointment. Because here's the truth, if you don't plan, you'll end up skipping practice, going straight into races cold, and wondering why you're making the same mistakes week after week. In this next segment, it's about essential third-party apps. We're going to talk about the tools that can make your iRacing experience a little bit better and take it to the next level. Because as much as I love iRacing, their in-game tools are basic And if you want to maximize your performance, there are some must-have third-party apps. Race Labs is one I personally use. For me, this is the gold standard for overlays and HUD customization. You can build your own black boxes, change fonts, colors, layouts, basically create an interface that works for you. iRacing's default black boxes or UI, as we've seen already, and they've also tried to improve it very recently, are clunky and limited, and we're going to go into that more detail in a bit. Race Labs give you flexibility and data that actually makes sense mid-race. Then there's trading paints. Honestly, iRacing looks dull without it. This is how you can get custom liveries, team colours, sponsor logos. It's part of the identity of being an iRacer. And if you're streaming or making content, it's absolutely essential. Nobody wants to see blocks of pink and blue cars on the track. They want to see some wonderful created liveries. What about VRS, Coach Dave Delta, or iSpeed? These are your data and setup tools. They let you compare your laps against faster drivers, see where you're losing time, and analyze telemetry. Even if you're not chasing pro-level speed, just knowing where you're braking too early or carrying too much speed can actually save seconds off your lap times. Crew Chief, this one is another game changer. It's like having a real spotter and race engineer in your ear. It calls out gaps, fuel needs, strategy changes, and even tells you if the guy ahead is making mistakes. It keeps you focused and adds a level of immersion that iRacing own spotters can't match. SimHub. If you've got a dash display, LEDs or tactile transducers, SimHub ties all these together. You can build your own dashboards, customize what info you see, and even link it to motion rigs or vibration feedback. It's the ultimate immersion tool. The key point here is this. These apps do what iRacing doesn't. They fill in the gaps. They give us features we've been asking for, and they often do a better job than iRacing ever has. We're going to come back in a second and we're going to touch base on the new iRacing UI. Don't go away. Before we look at the UI, I just thought we'd do a small segment on what to expect from week 1. Every time the calendar resets, the servers fill up, and suddenly you're racing in a melting pot of drivers from all different backgrounds. That can be both exciting and dangerous, so let me explain what I mean. Week 1 always brings in fresh blood. Maybe someone just brought iRacing, maybe after a birthday or a sale or Christmas and things like that. Maybe they've been lurking and finally pulled the trigger. These are new drivers that are hungry, eager, and they want to prove themselves. But here's the catch, they don't have the racecraft yet. They haven't learned how to leave space, they don't know what about cold tyres, or they don't know how to rejoin. They're just driving like it's an arcade game. That means us have to be a little bit smarter. In week 1, give people a little more room than usual. Don't assume the car ahead knows you're alongside. And don't be afraid to sacrifice a position if it means surviving the chaos. Because finishing clean in week 1 is often worth more than trying to win a dogfight against a brand new rookie. Then we have the newly promoted drivers. You'll meet all the rookies who have just got promoted into D class. These are the drivers who survived Rookie MX5, picked up a C or D safety rating, and now they're moving up into a higher series for the first time. Some of them will surprise you. They'll be clean, consistent, and may even be quick. But a lot of them are still rough around the edges. They're learning fuel strategy, pit entry, multi-class etiquette. All things that go way beyond what you deal with in rookies. So when you see the shiny new D license badge on someone's profile, just remember, they're still finding their feet, expect mistakes, expect overambitious overtakes, i.e. dive bombs, and once again, race with margin. Survive now and climb the ladder later. But there's a third group, folks, listeners, viewers, the demoted drivers. These drivers have been demoted from last season. Maybe they lost safety rating through week 13. But basically their safety rating has tanked. And now they're racing a tier down from where they were feeling comfortable before. These guys can be dangerous in a different way. Because often they're frustrated. They've got a chip on their shoulder, an axe to grind with iRacing, and they want to prove they don't belong down here. That means they're aggressive, they'll dive bomb, they'll push the limits, and sometimes they'll drive like they've got nothing to lose. When you encounter one of these drivers, my advice is simple, just let them go. If somebody's throwing desperate moves on lap 1 of a 20-lap race, just let them have it. 9 times out of 10, they'll end up in the wall or in the pits and you'll cruise past them later. Here's the last dynamic of week 1. Everyone feels like you've got a clean slate. New season, new goals, new chance to climb. And because of that, the intensity ramps up. People are trying that little bit harder. They're pushing for iRating from race 1. They're eager to start strong. And what does that create? Mistakes, overdriving, carnage on lap 1 at turn 1. So if you're listening to this before your first race of the season, here's my biggest piece of advice. Survive week 1. Don't worry about being the hero. Don't try to win every race. Just keep it clean. Keep it smart and build a foundation for the rest of the season. Because nothing kills momentum faster than rage quitting 3 races in a row on day 1. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The new, recently updated, i.e. beginning of last week, iRacing UI. When iRacing announced their UI overall, I personally got quite excited. Finally, I thought they're going to bring the interface into 2025. Sleek design, modern features, loads and loads of customization options, something that makes navigating the sim smoother and makes the in-race experience for us more user-friendly. But that's not what we got. Now, I know Greg did announce that it wasn't the finished article yet, but honestly, for me, it's a big miss so far. Sure, the menus look a little cleaner. It's slightly easier to navigate, but once you're in the car, nothing has changed. Not a thing. There's no ability to run multiple black boxes at once. Now, I've already mentioned race labs. I have my top left with race positions, top right, relative. There's more boxes to the right, giving me the weather conditions. There's more boxes to the left with a track map to show where I am on the track against my competitors. That is all still missing. And as I said, there's no ability to run multiple black boxes at once. There's no option to change font size or colour. Now let's be honest, it's a huge accessibility issue for a lot of drivers. There's no real customization to suit different hardware setups. Once we compare that to Race Labs, when you can literally design your own interface from scratch, and iRacing just looks dated even still today. So it makes you wonder, did iRacing even look at Race Labs, SimHub, and what other apps are doing? Or did they just push out the bare minimum to say they'd updated it? Don't get me wrong, I still love the platform, the physics, the racing, and the community, but that's why we're all here. When you pay a subscription and buy content, you expect the basics to be handled. And right now, it feels like iRacing is leaving the heavy lifting to the third-party developers. So here's my fear. iRacing doesn't start catching up in terms of interface and usability. New sims like Rennsport or even old rivals like Assetto Corsa Competizione are going to lure people away with a better user experiences. Because sometimes it's not just about the physics, it's about how easy and enjoyable it is to actually use the sim. So my closing thoughts then already on today's podcast. Here are the big takeaways. Pick your series wisely. Don't spread yourself too thin. Commit to one main path and one fun side project, and don't forget you need to write these down. Practice with purpose. Structure your week. Don't just hot lap. Prepare like you're going to do the actual race. And don't forget this is the track the following week. Use third-party apps. They exist for a reason, and they'll make you faster, smarter, and more organised. Push iRacing to do better. Enjoy the new season, but don't ignore the flaws. Let's keep pushing for improvements in the areas that matter. And finally, I'll leave you with this week's listener challenge. Tell me which series you're running this season and which third-party app you can't live without. Drop me an email or a tweet or share it with the community on Facebook. Let's see what paths everybody's taking. Thanks for listening to the Lone Road iRacing podcast. Best of luck in week one's races, and I'll see you out on the track soon. Happy iRacing.
Whatever it takes, we're racing, we're in the zone. Whatever it takes, we push hard, never alone. I'm in the cockpit, the engines roar, hear me now. We're racing circles, got a hustle made a vow. Chasing victory, it's all or nothing on the track. Speed is my motto, nothing's ever holding back. Whatever it takes.